It's time to get hip, 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 hippogriff up in here. We're talking about the wizarding world of Harry Potter. Whoa! You all might notice that I am in a different location this episode. That's because I don't think the couch is just one location. You know, the couch is anywhere where engaging conversations and interesting topics are being discussed. And that, and also I wasn't able to film at the other couch. There's some technical difficulties. But anyways, on this episode, I wanted to talk about one of my favorite subjects, Harry Potter. Because Harry Potter is right up there for me. It's Lord of the Rings, James Bond, and Harry Potter. And definitely not in that order. But anyways, on this episode, we're going to be deciding what are the 5 best Harry Potter books. And this was not an easy decision for me to make because they're all kind of perfect in their own way. But I finally think I've came up with the definitive list. So let's get stupefied up in here. Whoa! Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so number 5, The Chamber of Secret. What I like about The Chamber of Secrets is that it's the first book in the series that really started to get dark, where we knew that this could be taken into so many different levels. And technically, it never got too bad, you know. No one actually died, and Harry Potter hearing voices was actually just a basilisk crawling through the walls. But I think that it did show us what Harry Potter could do, and for that reason, pretty much alone, I'm putting it as 5th on this list. Okay, alright. Number 4, The Goblet of Fire. So, The Goblet of Fire does have its problems with Mad Eye Moody. You know, we all knew he was going to be the bad guy in the end. And just the Yule Ball and Ron fighting don't seem to have any purpose to the book. But I gotta be honest, I just like this book because it's fun. You have all the magic of the Harry Potter universe, like dragons and mermaids and fantastical beasts in this maze. For me, it was the last fun book before things got serious. Not that the other books weren't fun, just it was the last kind of shout out to just magic and wonder for magic and wonder's sake. But just for the fun of it, I'm putting this one at number 4. Number 3, The Deathly Hallows. So, I'm not going to lie. A lot of people don't like this book simply because of those walking in the forest scenes. And when I first read it, I admit it was torture for me too. They just continue to walk through the forest and they get food and it really got boring. But after you get through the forest scenes, it does become better. And I'll admit that I've actually become rather fond of the forest scenes now after reading the second time, even though it was a little hard the first time. But the reason why I put this at number 3 so high on this list, because even all those hundreds of pages, it still was worth it just for those big moments, that climax at the end. And just figuring out that Snape wasn't really a bad guy after all, and the final standoff between Harry Potter and Voldemort, I just couldn't bring myself to not put this in the top place. It's just too big of an adventure to not be considered one of J.K. Rowling's best. Number 2, The Order of the Phonics. So, a lot of people out there just don't like this book at all. That think this was the worst one of the series. And, you know, I guess I can see the point. We're meeting Voldemort again, even though we've already met him in the Goblet of Fire. And there's just a lot of stuff like the prophecy that seems a bit cliche. But I'm going to make an argument here. And that is that if you ignore the other books in the series, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phonics is kind of the perfect Harry Potter book. You have pretty much every character in the Harry Potter universe in the same story, from Snape, Sirius, Harry, Voldemort, even Gilderoy Lockhart makes an appearance. And also, it's just, there's so much magical energy going on here, you know, the battle and the Ministry of Magic. This is where magic starts to really reach dark and intricate levels. And I know J.K. Rowling isn't a big fan of this because it went longer than she expected, and she just felt that it just, you know, it wasn't as good of a part of the series. but I have to admit there is just something about it for me. Maybe it was just because it was one of the first books that I read, but I really liked it. I thought it captured the wizarding world the best. And number 1, The Prisoner of Azkaban. So, I mean, I think everyone likes this one for one reason only: time travel. And time travel, I'm not going to lie, causes all sorts of crazy problems with the universe. Even if you believe those theories that maybe it can only go back an hour, even an hour still has really a lot of complications to the plot. But aside of that, this story is just a very good part of the series. It's right there in the middle. There's not really much wrong with it. Honestly, we get to see Harry, and he's darkly obsessed and stuff, you know. Just like in the Order of the Phonics, he's actually like having a mood and tantrums and stuff, and it's very interesting to see his character like this. And yeah, I can't really come up with anything bad to say about it. There's nothing really wrong. It doesn't try to force Voldemort down our throat again. So, in my opinion, The Prisoner of Azkaban is best. But what do you think? Leave below in the comments. And as always, think big, think magic.